Amir had talked about some of the future things that we have going on. You guys have seen and played with our current devices, kind of heard Amir's like big ideas, long-term goals, and I'm going to kind of lay out a few things that are going to get us there. So future of mesh, the big thing for us at Spec 5 is both hardware and software. Like that's how we're going to achieve all of these things moving forward, to increase the functionality of the mesh, both to the home user, the amateur, the hobbyist, and also in commercial fields. So if you haven't seen, Amir mentioned it briefly, we've got some tablets on the side running them. We created a couple apps that use the Meshtastic protocol to communicate and play a game. And as Amir mentioned, it's a bunch of gobbledygook. It's a bunch of random numbers and letters that get sent across your Meshtastic device. It's actually pretty fun to play and watch the screen on the Meshtastic device because it is just a cipher of code. And but the app on the other side turns that into a gameplay move, whether you're playing the tic-tac-toe, the checkers, or the chess. And I hope someday to hear that there are customers hundreds of miles away playing one of our games with each other, not on the internet, over the mesh. I think that would be super cool. But basically what this really allows us to do is move into more things. This is just a demonstration of what you can do. Amir mentioned, mesh text to graphics, text to image, but then also, reporting sensor data, collecting sensor data all over the mesh, whether it be on the open channels or, private and local channels. So again, sensor nodes, this is something that we at Spec 5 have a lot of experience with. We've done a few other LoRa projects in the industrial space, using ESP32 boards to collect temperature, pressure, vibration, electromagnetic field, current, voltage, all these different things, sending it back to over the LoRa 915 and back to the cloud. And there's definitely going to be ways to incorporate Meshtastic into this, both in a way that everyone can consume and use this data in a meaningful way, and then also in the more private sense of I've got sensors on my property, sensors in my town that I don't want everyone to see, but I want some people to see. The other thing we've already been prototyping is mesh control devices. So using the Meshtastic radio to control an electrical relay to turn on and off devices. So lights, sirens, maybe a garage door, maybe a gate, all done over the mesh. So again, adding functionality in the real world, using the same hardware, using the same protocol that we're already all using, but to have some functionality behind it. The relay family. So our relay is the device here that you would mount permanently on your home. We want to expand that to vehicles. We've got a couple prototypes of vehicle specific devices for the relay, magnet mounts and such, as well as adding more no phone comms integration in with this device. Software defined radios, adding the IP Wi-Fi and LAN connection to these devices, so that you can not just hop over Meshtastic, but hop over the internet, fully configured, ready to go, keeping it really easy for the user to again expand the mesh. And then the multi-protocol devices. This is probably the thing that I know Amir is most excited about. The use of software-defined radios, the Nomad, which some of you have seen, is just the beginning of that. I personally just still do not know how to use a software-defined radio, but I will be learning that very soon. We are also working on a device that incorporates an FRS radio, family radio service radio, and a Meshtastic node inside. So one device, Meshtastic comms, and licenseless audio comms. So again, we're trying to remix different functionality to bring in different users and hopefully bridge some gaps and bring more people into the space in general. And then last is support for Reticulum. So that's another mesh networking protocol that we're going to be getting into. We're going to be supporting. And the idea is that we don't know if Meshtastic is forever. We hope it is. But we want to make sure that we are supporting multiple protocols, the ones that are the most useful, and having hardware and software that hopefully interacts with all of them. And the Spectre. A lot of you guys are pretty excited about this one. Simply put, it's an Android phone and a mesh radio together. Baby little phone. It's a 2.5-inch screen. Super cheap, fits in your pocket. Spectre, you know, James Bond, little sneaky little thing in your pocket, right? So again, really cool software development opportunities because it's an Android phone. You know, we're gonna give it to you preloaded with the Meshtastic app, with the current Spec 5 game apps, and as we continue to release these applications for Android, and hopefully soon we'll be rolling out or we'll get approved to have the Apple specific apps. We're going to add functionality to that. So voice to text and text to voice. How cool would that be? The phone takes in your voice, the app converts that to text, automatically sends that over the Meshtastic network. Amir has this crazy idea that you could train a small model on your voice, send someone on the other side of the world the model for your voice. So when you get the Meshtastic, when the receiver gets your Meshtastic message, it's played in your voice. Really neat things. Really neat things. And again, you know, working with the Reticulum ecosystem and making it more accessible for users already using Meshtastic, users already using, you know, Android and iPhone devices. And then hypermesh. Amir touched on this briefly. I'm gonna expand on it a little bit. But again, we're creating a very similar mesh protocol to Meshtastic that's completely closed sourced. Mainly going to be used for commercial and potentially some government military stuff. But I think in the long run, we will be able to create a branch of it, open and accessible. And again, continuing with encryption, but being able to bridge multiple protocols, I think is going to be really interesting. So that in the event, say, one protocol goes away, maybe we can be that in between, and keep the devices on the network going. I was having a conversation with James about Gotenna, who completely kind of pulled the wool out from all of their consumer customers to focus on military and government comms, and that's something that we don't want to do. That's not what we're about. We want these devices and these protocols to be used to improve life in general, to improve communication, and keep everyone safe, happy, and healthy. And then also, one of the things that current mesh protocols really don't do well is content payload delivery. So HTML and vectors wrapped into the mesh protocol. That's something that we want to have the software and the hardware capability on either ends of the mesh or points in the mesh to do that. Currently, we're working on a no app version. So instead of having an app that you have to download, you are just logging into an IP address in your web browser. No app. So that means you can run it on any type of phone, any type of computer that has a web browser. You can just go into it. So again, that's going to make it easier for any user to pick this up on any device, whether it's Apple, Windows, Linux, and then even devices that are really locked down, your military type devices. It should be very easy for anyone to connect to this. And then being that way, we can also customize the UI, both what it looks like, its workflows, and have custom prepackaged messages so that we can tailor it to the group or the specific company who's going to be using this.